Hello, sports fans, and welcome back to Sports on the Spot. My name is Willie Charger, and today I'm going to be joined by Nick James. Later on, Lenny's going to be here, and of course, we're going to have our Ronnie Rundown and the Lenny Lowdown later on in the show. A lot going on in the sports world these last few days. The NFL season really kicking into high gear. A lot of important games taking place over the weekend. Nick, what stood out for you this past weekend?
Willie, I was doing a little scoreagami, going through some box scores because I just couldn't watch all the games. I had my eyes on the Charger game mostly, but a lot of blowouts this weekend. 7 games were decided by over 14 points, with 4 teams scoring over 40 points. So it's pretty wild to kind of see some discrepancy there. Bills lose to the Jags and then get absolutely blow out the Jets. So it's interesting to see some high-scoring games.
For me, I really don't have much of a runaway headline, but I thought I would take the time to preview my NBA top 5 teams as we start early in the season. Keep in mind this list is obviously going to change over time, but right now my number 5 team is the Chicago Bulls. I'm really impressed with the Bulls lately. They've got a lot of young players, many of them from Southern California. Follow them, Washington Wizards, number 4. A couple ex-Lakers, Kyle Kuzma, Caldwell Pope doing great over there on the East Coast. Number 3, I got the Brooklyn Nets. I think Kevin Durant playing like an MVP. You can't sleep on Brooklyn. And then number 2, even though they lost the other night to Charlotte, I have Golden State Warriors. They're 11-2. My number 1 team right now is the Phoenix Suns, the defending Western champions who were in the finals last year. So that's it is right now, but there might be some changes as we go along.
So no Lakers.
I don't even have the Lakers in the top 10 right now.
Wow.
They're really a work in progress. So like I said, hopefully they'll be able to crack the top 10, but not right now. Let's stop right here and give a little bit of time for Lenny to give us his lowdown. Take it away, Lenny.
Hey, gang. You're well aware of the fact that I'm not just a commentator, but also into competitive sports. Last week or 2 weeks ago, you saw me do a powerlifting demonstration. You've seen me play croquet. You know I'm into other competitive sports. You may not know I'm also a mountain bike racer. And so I'm out in the field here today, going to show you a little bit about the inside world of a mountain bike racer. I'm with a couple of buddies of mine. They're out here riding too, as you can see. Wow, that's pretty impressive. You can do that. Yeah, this is tough going, but I'm going to show you what the actual track looks like. This is called a single track, which means that it's just wide enough for a bike to squeeze through in the trail portion of it. So navigating it is tricky. It's a high-speed sport. Man, sorry I'm a little out of breath because I've been riding I think we're at mile 11 right now. We're preparing for an upcoming race. Okay, I hear some other riders behind me, some other racers, I should say. Yep. Be kicking their butts tomorrow. So I want to show you a little bit of what it's like on a steep downhill. Very, very dangerous. I'm going to be going fast, so my camera might be bouncing around. You guys ready?
Let's do this.
You okay there, Lenny? Speak to me, Lenny. Well, I'm okay, but next time I might not be so lucky. I could have been killed. But that gave you a glimpse, a true glimpse, into the sport of mountain bike racing.
Well, thanks for that, Lenny. I've always liked cycling myself, especially the crashes. We're going to spend some time talking about the NFL, and as you all know, we're in the 10th week of the season, and there's been a lot of important games and teams that are starting to really stand out. I thought I'd give Lenny a chance to kick off our discussion today. Any words about the NFL, Lenny?
Yeah, I got a few words about the NFL. Let's talk about top 5. I mean, basketball season doesn't start till July? So I'm thinking football, guys. And I picked 5. I got Oakland, San Diego, Portland, San Antonio, and I'm going to round it off with the Bruins, and I'll put money on that.
I'm speechless there, Lenny. I got completely off guard there, and I just have nothing to say to that. I can't say that there was a lot of mediocre games that were played over the weekend, and that gives rise to my view that there's just way too much parity in the league. And no one team has really emerged as a dominant team to consider. You got Tampa Bay that's kind of on a downward trend. That's the defending Super Bowl champions. You've got other teams that Arizona lost over the weekend. No one team has really been able to separate themselves from the pack.
Yeah, Willie, it's been a really interesting year. You could say maybe other teams kind of closed the gap with the whole COVID season, maybe lack of fans, kind of some of the different things there. But it seems like even some of the bad teams are able to kind of close the gap a little bit there. We got the Lions tying the Steelers. That was, Big Ben's out, but the fact that they couldn't even shut down the Lions like some of these other teams have just shows. And even with some of the teams that had their good quarterbacks back, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, I mean, you think they're in a good position. Now the Packers are looking bad.
It seemed that some of the teams that were looking pretty good at the beginning of the season are now starting to, settle down and look pretty bad, where the teams that got off to a pretty mediocre start are now trending upwards. Look at the Patriots, for example. They got off to a pretty slow start, and they're right now one of the hottest teams in the league. A lot of people wrote off the Chiefs, and here they are, the Chiefs sitting on top of the AFC West after they beat their Oakland the other night, the Raiders, So the one team that does stand out to me is the Tennessee Titans. We talked about them losing Derrick Henry and how they're going to be able to survive without him. They seem to be doing pretty good in my book.
They don't even seem to have really a running game at all. I keep trying to think what they're going to do at the backfield. And it's funny because Deonta Foreman, the least likely candidate after all the hype, seems like the best Derrick Henry replacement. He's a big running back like him. And as far as the Chiefs go, they're bound to get it right sometime with a big game like this, but you still saw some of those wonky plays that probably shouldn't have resulted in for the benefit of the Chiefs. And I need a second statement game. Like, if you're going to come out and try to proclaim that you're back by beating the Raiders, they were due for a big loss just with everything they've been dealing with this offseason. But if the Chiefs are going to come back and try to announce themselves as the standard again, they need another statement game, or else I'm not buying it.
I know you have a lot more to add to your Knicks picks. You got any words to give us there?
Yeah. For this last week, it was pretty bad. I went 1-3 again, and I didn't just lose. I lost really bad. But we're going to try to come back this week with a couple division games. So first we have the Titans and the Texans. It seems like a no-brainer, really, but we've seen some other crazy games this season. I mean, the Titans did lose to the Jets. I think the Titans are going to be able to keep their streak going against the Texans. Packers, Vikings. Packers didn't look really good yesterday. The Vikings, it's really hard because they beat the Chargers. I'm still really hurt about that. I think the Vikings are a more complete team right now, and they're keeping all their games.
They're 4-5. The Vikings are 4-5. The Chargers are 5-4. That's what I was talking about. How the Vikings are just as good as a lot of teams that are 5-4. So at this point, nobody really can stand out.
You guys keep bemoaning the loss of the Chargers. There's another Chargers team out of Rhode Island, a high school team. They took their crosstown rivals over the weekend, and they're looking to make it into the playoffs too. So,
okay.
They're 6-3.
Well, I'm thinking Vikings over Packers. They've kept all the games within 7 points. Dolphins, Jets. Dolphins are starting to look like the team that we thought they would be this season. They definitely are on the upward trend right now. The Jets just absolutely got destroyed. They might keep it a little bit closer, but I think the Dolphins are going to keep it rolling. Don't let their record fool you there. And then Seahawks Cardinals, not a popular pick. I think Russell Wilson gets it right this week. I think he's going to come back. He's a little more refreshed. He said it wasn't his hand. That was the reason he was playing bad. Obviously, he's not going to say it is. But and this is without knowing if Kyler Murray is going to play or not. So got Titans, Packers, Dolphins, Seahawks. Little quick fantasy update here. If you played quarterbacks last week on your team, as I'm sure almost everyone did, you might have had a little bit of an upset. Bad weeks for Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Carson Wentz, Brady, Herbert, Rodgers. Matt Ryan barely got 3 points in one of my league. So people might be a little bit worried looking this week. The big quarterback question I'm getting is Cam Newton going to be a viable option moving forward? And Willie, I don't know if you saw that game, but he did get the two touchdowns on his first 2 plays back. But they were gimmies, right? I mean, like, you can't just think he's been on the bench for all the offseason and not even in the league and can come back and just going to be a QB1.
Well, for one day, he made an impact. Let's see how much he can continue as the season unfolds. Nick, we can't talk about this past NFL weekend without talking about the Chargers' loss to Minnesota. I was anticipating a very close game, and I knew that whoever had the ball last would probably end up victorious, and that's pretty much what happened. The Vikings did to the Chargers what the Chargers did the previous week against the Eagles. Got the ball back with the last few minutes of the game and never gave it up, while the Chargers pretty much sat helplessly on the sideline and watched the time expire. I said before that as the Chargers, as Justin Herbert goes, so do the Chargers. A lot of pressure on the guy. Unless he passes for 350 yards, they don't have much of a chance to win the game. Yesterday he was average, I think under 200 yards, the lowest passing in one game since last season. Other parts of the team have to step up. Special teams, defense. I don't see it happening right now.
The defense is as bad as it's looked all year. Every Sunday, I'm in a Charger group chat on Instagram with some of my friends, and just every week we're just like Chargers D, trash can emoji. It's unbelievable. I mean, things happen like that one touchdown later in the game where Derwin James ran into another defender, which opened up the easy touchdown. And just like that last drive, we had them at first and 25, and they're converting this. That's classic Charger defense. They can't tackle. You think we'd pick it up in the pass coverage, and then we're giving Justin Jefferson that, sideline things like push the guy out. I mean, I'm already getting worked up thinking about it again. It's crazy. Like
that was frustrating. That ruined my Sunday afternoon, and really wasn't too much interested in watching any more football after that. They just don't seem to click right now. There's something missing, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They sometimes look really great. They have long drives. They eat up the clock. They finish in the red zone. And then other times, like we saw yesterday, they just sputter.
Lenny, what do you think the Chargers need to do to get back on track next week?
Well, I'm going to stick with the other Chargers that I mentioned before because they're on a win streak, and I say just keep going on that. I wasn't able to watch Sunday's game. I was you guys might know I was in a mountain bike race, so I missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah, we heard about that. Okay, well, thanks for that, Lenny. We'll have to talk some more next time. I wanted to give Ronnie a chance to give us his rundown. So, Ronnie, take it away.
All right, how we doing, guys? Hope the NFL season's going well for you so far. It's crazy. It's already week, what is it? I don't know, week 11, I think? Yeah, week 11. So we're going to do something a little different today. We're kind of going to just go off the fly. I'm looking at the games here and seeing what pops out. Colts, Bills, pass. Ravens, Bears, pass. Lions, Browns. Man, the Lions. Man. You got the Titans, Texans, Packers, Vikings, Dolphins. Okay, here we go. Dolphins, Jets. Dolphins at the Jets. Miami is -3. Jets are home underdog, 3 points. Both teams stink. I'll go Jets. So let's start it off with Jets. I'm going Jets +3. Could never thought I'd say it. Jets +3. Never thought I'd bet on the Jets. Actually, Bobby Bonaduccio is going to be at the game, and he's going to review the sausage and peppers of every Premio. There's about like 25 Premio sausage and pepper stands because we have an argument. Like he was saying, no, you got to go to the one in section 334. And I was like, no, section 1 in 342 is the best one. So he's gonna go through, review every single one. So be on the lookout for that. Bobby Bonaduccio Premio sausage review at MetLife Stadium. I'm gonna go Saints at the Eagles. I like Saints. The Eagles are home. They're favored -1.5, but I'm going to go Saints +1.5. I don't think the Eagles are good, and I think the Saints are actually pretty good. The Saints are good. Washington and the Panthers, Niners at Jaguars, nah. Bengals at Raiders. Since he's -1 on the road, let's come back to that. Cowboys at Chiefs. That's Chiefs are -2.5. Cowboys are definitely a better team, but I think, the Chiefs at home could still win by a field goal. Let's see. Cardinals at Seahawks. It's a tough one. Steelers at Chargers. Chargers -6. And then you got Giants at the Bucks on Monday night. Give me the Giants. Give me Giants +11 at Tampa Bay. I'm not saying the Giants are going to win, but I like plus. I'll take the 11 points. Giants are playing good. All right, so it's a New York weekend. So we got Giants +11 on Monday night. We got Saints +1.5 at Philly, and we're going to take Jets +3 at home. Good luck.
Thanks, Ronnie. Well, it's our favorite time of the show, and that's hearing from you viewers out there. There's a lot of you, so it's always tough picking a question, but we kind of like this one. It's from Passaroller 12345, and he asks us, should the winless Lions be happy with a tie? What do you guys think?
I don't think the winless Lions should be happy with a tie. They had a chance to win, and they didn't. That has to be one of the most pathetic games I've ever seen in recent history. But they had plenty of chances to win that game, and yeah, they should be unhappy. I mean, yeah, they didn't lose the game, but they had a chance to win it. I'd be very unhappy.
I think they should. Little moral victory there. As an actual former competitor in sports, I would be super unhappy. But these Lions are a special group. They're playing for Man Campbell. They could go down as the best winless team in history, which we've discussed in episodes past. But I mean, having a tie on that winless record is just, it's like the cherry on top. At least they didn't lose is all I can say for them. Should they be happy? Maybe it'll grow on them.
I think they should be totally unhappy with the tie. Completely unhappy. You know what else they should be unhappy with? Would be a win. Look, guys, they need to go at their strength. And their strength isn't winning or tying, it's losing. That's their brand. Ideally, they would have gone 0-16. Win or tie just messes up their perfect record of losing.
Yeah, that's true about that. But one thing is the Lions certainly have our attention since we've been talking about them so much. So that's the other plus as far as that goes.
It'd be a 0-17 this year, Lenny.
Yeah, I changed the rules, I guess.
Well, that's about it for this week's show. We could talk some more, but we have run out of time. I wanted to thank everybody for tuning in and watching, reminding everybody to like, comment, and subscribe to the show if they have an opportunity. Any Sports on the Spot question, just like the one we got today, can be submitted to the Sports on the Spot show at gmail.com or in the little box in the channel section of our YouTube page. And once again, thanks a lot for watching the show. We'll see everybody next time. Peace.
Unbelievable.